Hey, folks, just sitting here giving you the opportunity to relax, giving you the opportunity to call your friends and tell them to tune in to Reaching Out with Eddie. When I do a podcast or talk to you, a lot of you out there have spoken with me. A lot of you out there know me. A lot of you out there have called me to assist you, to help you. And the title is 2 days until you make a decision, a 4 year decision. And think why and what. And I use those single words to indicate that you should think, you should ask why, and you should say or ask, what is it that think about the decision? Think about your vote. Why are you asking me to vote for you? Why are you asking me to vote for him? What is it that he is going to do to make life for me better in the city? So I want to talk to you about some things. The last podcast I had, I talked about Ebony, not Ebony, um, Tara Kelly. I talked about Lolo. And what I suggested to you is that Percy was paying them. Now, here's what I'm going to talk. And I was out canvassing this weekend and I was out talking to people and some of you out there. And so I'm going to address some of the concerns that you have had while I was out there. And you asked me these questions. Some of you out there upset about the tariff. uh, Terry Kelly wants to scare you and tell you that Jimmy Copeland, a vote for him is a vote for Donald Trump. So I want to stop you right there. Why don't Terry Kelly tell you why is it that you should vote for Percy? Not that he used to be mayor before, not that he's 6 feet 2 or 3 or 4, not that I like him. Why is it that Terry Kelly is telling you to vote for him? Now, I can tell you, her and I went back and forth, and I didn't get upset. I was very rational. I was making rational statements. I was asking rational questions. Now, you go to Terry Kelly's page, and she took all of that down. She took it down because she didn't want you to read it because it has some damning accusations on there, such as last time when she supported Percy, both her and her daughter got a job from Percy Bland. Percy fired her. Percy placed her at the water treatment plant on B Street. She tried to explain to you that it was Kitra that did that. Do you understand that I am the head of my household? Percy Bland, when he was mayor, was the head of the city Meridian, and those people worked at his will. Now let's just talk. Y'all hear Two Bell talking. We're not Two Bell. Be quiet for a moment. But listen to me, folks. He even promised me something. He promised everybody something. And I have a list of the people that supported him. Remember Barbara Key, she was the first person. He promised her a job. He gave her a job. Terrence Davis gave him a job which he still has. And I'm going to say this to you, Terrence. I've heard that he's going to fire you if he's become mayor. So not only should you not be supporting him, and I don't think that you are, it's something you did that done got back to him. He's talking about firing you. So not only you, other people too. I'm not going to call everybody name, but I wanted to specifically call your name, Terrence Davis, so that you know. And I don't think that you're supporting him, but this is the kind of person that Percy is. He's vindictive. He's money hungry. When he became mayor, before he did not have any money. He was living from credit card to credit card. All of them were maxed out. By the time he was kicked out of office, he was a millionaire. And he's broke now, and he wants that money back. He wants that power. And he has never sued me. When him and Lolo said something about me, I sued their ass and they shut the fuck up. How about he has never sued me about him and Mayor Gill being in a relationship? Mayor Gill's supposed to be his CAO. That's what I'm told. He never sued me about the things that I said about him bringing drug money and drugs off the interstate, the money he keep and the drugs he put back in the interstate. I can give you a direct quote that one of his chief of police said that No chief of police has brought more money into the city of Meridian than I have. How is it that a chief of police would bring money into the city? I know what they're talking about because I've had the late Marie Franklin told me this and about drugs coming and on video. So they know it on video of the chief of police bringing it to one person's house in Siwasha and then setting it down and the person come up and getting it and taking it. See, folks, these are the kind of things. So I'm gonna say, and look, how about Terrell Thompson, who was fired by the Meridian Police Department during the Sheriff Bear administration? Percy Bland gave him a job. He helped him. So don't let Percy tell you a lie that he's not promising anybody anything. He promising everybody things. James Lee got a job because of Percy. Lolo got a job. She started threatening Percy because Percy wouldn't give a job because the people that was in his head, his brain trust was telling him, you don't need to hire Lolo. You need to get rid of Eddie Holt. He promised her a job, but he wouldn't give her one. When he finally gave her a job, he gave her a job. Her job was to sit for 8 hours in not Velma Young, but the Magnolia Teen Center, the original Magnolia Teen Center, the little building by Parkview where she sat looking at a door all day long. See the waste of city money, but the character. And wasn't soon before he found a way to fire her. So why is it that she's supporting him, folks? I'll tell you why. Because he has promised her something. So Don Wright was placed on the board. I was supposed to have created this, what I was promised. So I'm not speaking from what somebody told me. I was there. I was a part of the people, a group of people to help him get elected for the first time. I was supposed to create a community liaison job. Jonathan Bard, who owns the I think it's a shooting range on Highway 39. He owns that. How he got the money is suspect. I'm not going to talk about that because that's a different story and a different subject and a different podcast. Jonathan Barr, when he was in Iraq and how they was able to stop the gang violence, they got the gang leaders themselves and they made them leaders in the community. I took that idea and I created a community liaison program. The people that was on the city council when Percy first became mayor could attest to the fact that he wanted to give that job to Terrell Thomas, and they voted down. I'm the one that drew up that plan, folks, and I gave it to him. I assure you that he still have that plan. Kerry Hare can tell you that he was going to be one of the captains in the East End. Tommy Edwards was going to be one. So I was going to take Miguel Willis. I was going to take the leaders of the gangs and give them jobs. And of course, I had talked to, if I'm not mistaken, I talked to Reverend Clark. He was going to be the chaplain that was going to be involved with this program. So it was drawn up. Imagine taking people that are committing crime or either people that's over groups and not saying that Kerry Hare nor Miguel Willis nor Tommy Edwards are committing crimes, because they're not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they are a person of influence in those particular groups, such as the Vice Lords, the Gangster Disciples, I think they call it 31st Red. I don't know all the names, but I did then. And I had talked to all of them and we was ready. But when Percy got the job, he wanted to put me over the board. He said, well, Eddie, you want to be able to control what's going on in public housing? I said, I don't want to be on a damn board. And I'm quoting him. And of course, it's other things. So Percy did. He promised everybody a job. And if you go back and look at everybody that helped him in that campaign, he gave them a job. Some of them, we didn't see him do anything. So does Percy promise people? Yes. But if he was a good person or a good mayor, why would he have to promise a person a job? He 803 Stacey Thompson and Chrissy Walker. They did not pass the civil service test. So these are people that Percy gave a job to, that Stacey and I was on the same. They created a board of people that's when to help Percy transition into his administration. Tracy Thompson and I was on that board, and she said what she was going to get and how much money she was going to get before she even got it. what she want, instead of them talking about, most people was talking about, except for me, I just wanted to be able to make a difference and bring about a change in my community. And so since Percy didn't do that, and another thing, I drew up a plan on how to turn Lauderdale County, a red county, into a blue county. I gave John Flowers and Percy Bland a copy of that. And it entails taking our children in our communities from the ages of 14 up and creating projects for them, mentoring them and teaching them about the importance of voting. And by the time they become 18 years old, 4 years later, they're going to be 18. So this here is how you would reseed the Democratic Party, because we are breeding, but we don't vote. And so, yes. And so, but I wanted to talk to you. So don't let Terry Kelly scare you and tell you, hey, he's a staunch Republican, or he's a very, very conservative Republican. He's a business person. So don't let people define you by labels. Are you defined by a label? And I cannot believe that I got an email from, it was said it was from Ted Reynolds. I don't know, but telling the Democrats to meet at Percy Bland office Saturday to go out and canvass to get people to vote for him. Wow. I don't know whether that's from Ted or not, but they sent it to the wrong person. Why would you have to tell people that you should not be telling people to go vote for anyone, Ted? What you should be doing, Ted, you know, there's a lot of things in this city that's wrong. You know that Percy is not right for us. Then it is not right for you or anyone to tell anyone to go and vote for Percy when he ghosts Meridian. He ghosted Meridian when he lost his mayoral's job. He ghosted. He left. You didn't see him for 3 years. He wasn't planning on running. So all of a sudden, you've been seeing him for the last year. He don't care about Meridian. He doesn't have a plan for Meridian. It's the Democratic Party who has messed up the black community, be by the black citizen, black people falling lockstep in place, just voting blindly for a candidate that's not qualified. They're so smart, those people that want to retain power, that they use the Democratic Party just to put their person there. But look at the state of Meridian. Meridian is not doing well at all. And Terry Kelly, you cannot converse with me. Only thing I'm going to do is speak facts. You making excuses for Percy Bland. You making excuses for being fired. You making excuses for being placed in a water plant. And then you had the audacity to call my name and talk to me and directly challenge me when I'm speaking facts. You came to me. You didn't go to Percy. You came to me. You were very angry and very mad at Percy. You was talking about suing, but you did not sue. You came to me recently. And I'm not going to talk about what that was about, but I do know that. I do know that you got a job. How is it that at your age, if you was a qualified person to work for the city of Meridian, how is it at your age that you didn't get a job with the city of Meridian prior to Percy Bland? And folks, if you look at it, most of the people that Percy Bland hired was incompetent. He still controlled every aspect of his administration. Look at all the first chief of police he had. Thomas Van and both Rita Jacks, both black people that was mistreated and they was discriminated against. They was treated in a biased way by a black administrator, by Percy Bland. Percy Bland cherry-picked folks and put them there to promote his agenda. His agenda was just really to enrich himself and his cronies. Go back and look at it. For someone to come up and say, I'm tired of white people winning. I don't care about white people winning. I'm tired of black people putting their foot on top of the neck of other black people and telling black people to vote for Negroes that don't mean us any good at all. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Let's talk about him just for a moment. Donald Trump is not a factor in this because he's not running for mayor of Meridian, Mississippi. Anything that affects you by Donald Trump is going to trickle down from the top to the bottom. We're at the bottom. We need to focus on the problems at the bottom. So let me educate you folks. I need to educate you because a lot of you don't know. Did you know that Nike, the shoe that you love so well, that Jordan's always talking about, that made him a billionaire? Nike, all the Nike shoes, products are made in China, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Malaysia. That's Nike. Apple, specifically iPhone, are made in China and other places. Ford Motor Company, made overseas. Most of the things that the cars and things like that made overseas. Only some things are put together here. IBM, an American company, made overseas. All the products made overseas. Walmart gets all of its stuff from China. So you don't understand where I'm going with this yet? But let me explain it to you. How about Fender, PV, and Gibson guitar? These are American products that are made overseas, such as Mexico, China, and Vietnam. How about Levi Strauss? Y'all know they see the tough Levi jeans, made in China, Mexico, and Vietnam. How about Rawlings? Major League Baseballs are made overseas, not made in America. How about American Girl dolls? Most of the steel made overseas. Dell computers, Cisco system, made overseas. Do y'all understand yet what I'm talking about? You understand that we don't make anything in America anymore. Donald Trump raised the tariffs not to hurt you, but to help your ignorant ass. Because if the tariff gets so high, they make things overseas because it's cheaper to make it overseas and send it back to America than to pay you a living wage. Right now, the guaranteed wage for you is $7.25 an hour. In order for you to live and take care of yourself in a place that has a low economy, you need to make at least $25 an hour. You need to make that in order to pay your bill. Your rent, if the government wasn't paying it for you, you would have to pay it for yourself. And your rent should never be no more than 30% of your income. The average rent, even in it right here where I am, is about $1,000 a month. That's the average. In Meridian, Mississippi, is about $750 to $1,500. So you imagine how much money that you would have to make, folks. And so Donald Trump raised tariffs to create jobs in America, folks. So they taking away money from welfare, SNAP benefit. Sometimes you got to clean the house. Most people, and I don't mean to get mad at me, I don't care. Most folks that are in public housing, most folk that are in the projects, what they say, government projects, most people that are on HUD, most of the folks that are getting SNAP benefits, most of the folk that are receiving Medicaid do not vote. Do not vote. You got to control the narrative in your own life. If you don't vote, why should the government feed you? Why should the government pay your bills? Why should the government pay your medical insurance? That's people that are working. That's people that are doing other things. So why should the government do that for you when you don't even care enough about the narrative in your life? You get so damn excited when a movie star come to town, or someone such as Jamal Roberts ain't just now came to Meridian, Mississippi. He been there all his life. And now you're all excited, but you're not benefiting. You should be excited about this mayoral race. You should do all you can to see. Percy ass didn't get but 2,800 votes. That means over 13,000 people don't like his ass. And that, guess what, folks? Those people that voted for Percy don't need convincing. If Percy was a good mayor, if he had done a stellar job, he never would have been unelected. If Percy was a good mayor, if he wasn't making deals, he wouldn't have to make deals. We wouldn't have to get Lolo and Terry Kelly. People, the only thing Terry Kelly and Lolo is doing is losing credibility, especially you, Lolo, because that man charged you with sending, receiving child pornography. Do you know that everybody remember you crashing him, and now you interviewing him, and you want him to be your next mayor? So here, what I'm understanding, folks, is that it's okay for you to suffer, for you not to have shit, for them police officers to beat your ass and do all kind of things to you, while people such as Terry Kelly and Lolo and all the folks that are pushing Percy to be your next mayor, but they gonna be okay because they'll get a job with the city, or either they'll settle their lawsuit. So if that's politics, what Lolo called politicking. Don't let Lolo and Terry Kelly probably trick you. And the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because Terry Kelly deleted everything I said. So Tuesday, come Tuesday, y'all make sure y'all go to those polls and y'all vote, and y'all send that Bama back to Alabama where his ass been living for the last 3-4 years, where his wife worked, and he cares so much about you. His wife works in Alabama. His children could not vote for him. He's asking you to vote for you, and he don't give a damn about you. If you want to know what kind of person Jimmy Copeland is, go and talk to him. Go down there and look at the Copeland Center. He did that. He did the work. If a man can take a pile of rocks and build what he built, imagine what he could do for this city. Am I going to get something from him? No, I'm not. Have I asked for him anything? No, I am. No, I have not. But I've seen 8 years of Percy Bland. And I don't want to see any more years of Percy Bland. What I want to do is see that nigga tarred and feathered and ran the fuck out of town. If you can do that, I need your help to do that. Don't you vote for that Bama. Send that scheming ass, lying ass, tall, lanky, pedophilic, gay Republican back to Alabama. Send him back to his mammy lap. Yeah, I said it. This ain't, I'm not speaking because I'm not representing the person that I'm trying to get. I'm representing you out there in podcast land. So yes, sometimes you gotta clean the house out. I'm gonna tell y'all something else too, folks. I will always use my cognitive ability in order to determine who's best. I want to look at that report card. What it is that person has done. What is it that he can do? He already showed you what he can do. You remember time he became mayor. His bodyguard beat the hell out of that black man down, and all the folk, man, I just could go on and on and on. You remember? Talking about what we did. He didn't say anything about bringing jobs here when he talking about we brought the Children Museum, we brought the Max building we're in right now. He didn't say anything about he brought jobs in so that you can get off food stamp. He didn't say anything about he sent his police officers to training so they can stop focusing on black folk. I just had to do this podcast, folks, and man, all of y'all out there that's supporting Percy Bland, man, so you can like him. It's okay to like him if you like him. It's okay if you want to be with him. Be with him. I don't care whether it's male or female. But it's not okay for you to make him your leader again. It's not okay for you to go and vote for him. You got to say, God said, suffer not the little children, because theirs are the kingdom of God. What kind of legacy are you creating for the children that are not born yet, the children that have not started walking yet, the children that just not started crawling, the children that have not started school yet? What kind of legacy are you creating for them when you look at 12 years of bad leadership and you keep that shit going? Now it's time for it to stop. Don't y'all vote for that nigga. And so, yeah, compare him to Trump. So if he's going, I don't know anything that Donald Trump has done wrong. Let's talk about putting the wall. The wall should be so high they can't go under it, over it, or around it. Everybody should come into this country legally. The people that are here illegally have taken your job. Most of you don't want to work anyway. How is it that some of you that are talking about tariffs has not even, you don't vote, you don't work, you don't pay taxes, then you talking about Donald Trump? Say something bad about him. I can tell you 4 things good about him. He pardoned Lil Wayne. He pardoned Kodak Black. Also, he pardoned NBA Youngboy. And he commuted Larry Hoover's sentence. What black president would have done that? Not a one. Not a one. Guess what else he said? Let me read this to you, folks. He was asked by a Fox News reporter, would he consider, and I'm going to read this to you, would he consider pardoning P. Diddy? And this is what Donald Trump said, and I'm going to, He said, Diddy used to really like me a lot before entering politics. It's not a popularity contest. I would certainly look at the facts. He indicated that he would consider it if he thinks someone was mistreated. Kudos to Donald Trump. Now he pardoned other folks too. And he pardoned all those folks that stormed the Capitol wall. While you all can get mad about it, sometimes we do things just for political correctness or do things to people that we shouldn't. Look, I done been on the wrong side of the fence before, and I have made mistakes. And all I ever wanted was another chance to be a better person, to be a different person. So it's okay to be a forgive and forget Christian. It's okay to be a forgive. How is it that you can go to church? How is it that you can go to church on Sunday and do these kind of things? But folks, I'm finna get off. I'm finna end the stream because I think they kind of start messing with it a little bit. And I paused in intentionally. I want to thank you all from listening in. I want you all to, I'm finna look at my chats. I want you all, I'm gonna read it. Thank you, Eddie, for always supporting. Please share this podcast. And we need to be out in droves. We need to go and vote. To the sleeping giant, wake up. I know you're dissatisfied. I know that you do not like how the state of the community is, but you can make a difference now. Let's give Jimmy Copeland a chance, the same chance you gave Percy Bland, an insurance agent that did not know anything. But even then, his heart was not in the right place because he was making deals with everybody. Everybody. I was in the meeting when Tommy Edwards, one of the leaders of one of the black gangsters or disciples of the BDs, one of the leaders, and Kira Hare, when when Terrell Thompson came there, he got up angry and left. It was me that got him to come back to the table to talk. So yes, Percy Bland do make big deals. He's a lying devil. He don't mind looking you in your face and lie. That's the reason why his voice is so soft as he invented and come across strong. Has nothing to do with his sexual preference. It's because he's a weak liar and he knows that he's lying. You know what? Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.